Hey everybody, what's going on? Emily Roberts here. I'm Diamond Ambassador with Plexus, and I am joined by two of my amazing friends, Jennifer Brett and Paris Jesky. They are senior rubies with Plexus, and we have a question. Can we have your objections, please? We want to know the proper way to respond to someone, and when you get a question. So we're just going to kind of bounce ideas off each other. We're going to keep this super casual. You're going to see our kiddos throughout this video session because that's real life. That's what Plexus Freedom is all about, is being able to work from home right next to your kids and with your best friends. So we're going to kind of start, and I'll start it off, and I'm going to ask them a question, and then they're going to bounce back and ask me one, and we're just going to keep this thing going. So first up on the list, Paris, I'm just really skeptical, and I've been reading some articles. Can you explain to me, does Plexus kill people?
What? Oh my gosh, no. So Plexus is totally safe. It's very natural. I'm actually a nursing mom. I've nursed 2 babies while using Plexus, and I used it my entire pregnancy. I don't think my OBGYN would have approved Plexus if it was going to kill me or my baby. And then you guys who are watching this, if they send me the Betty website, we all know about Betty, then I would send them the YouTube video that objects that, and I believe it's called The Elephant in the Room, but it basically debunks that entire website, which is one of the first negative Plexus websites that's going to come up on Google.
Absolutely. I think that's probably the number one thing that pops up when people Google Plexus or Plexus Slim, and it shoots up to the top. Gotta love Google ratings, right? But there is a way to overcome that, and the 3 of us do that on a regular basis. So we encourage you, get on YouTube, type in the elephant in the room, what is Plexus, and watch that video so you can learn how to overcome negative articles that aren't very truthful.
Can I piggyback on that really quick?
Yeah.
I want to say that after I had messaged Emily, I'm her level 1, and I messaged her saying, okay, I think I'm ready to give this Plexus thing a shot, and I was so skeptical. And so what do I do after I place my preferred order? I Googled Plexus, reviews on Plexus, and that exact blog came up, and I turned to my husband and I'm like, oh, what did I buy? This is so awful. Thank God they have a money back. I need to get my money back. I'm not even going to try this stuff. And he's the one that was like, maybe we should look at some outside reviews. So I just want to piggyback off that and just say, research the ingredients individually. Don't base it off one blog, because that would have debunked this whole thing for me if I had just listened to that article.
For sure. I remember that plain as day and thinking, crap, why did she do that? You know, it's normal. It's normal for us to feel the way that we feel when we get that, like that scared feeling, like, oh my gosh, what did they find? But it's also normal for someone to Google that because they want what's best for them, right? Yeah. Hi, baby. So let's move on. Let's go to, I'm going to ask Jen this one, and then I'll let y'all ask me a question here in a second. Jen, I don't know about this. I've been looking at the prices. I think I need to ask my husband. I need to talk to my significant other. Can I get back to you?
Yeah, of course. Do what you got to do. Talk to your hubby. I know that a lot of, if you've been looking up the research, if you've been researching everything and looking at everything, sorry, it's my special guest, then it's probably really hard for him to understand what you're getting yourself into. But I just strongly encourage you to sit down and research the ingredients with him. I am more than happy to jump on the phone with you guys. Put me on speaker. I can explain anything to him. Trust me, my husband was not all that too sure about this either, but I really just showed him everything that Emily was showing me, and he saw what I saw in it. So I just encourage you to go through it together, and I'm here to go over anything with the 2 of you.
Love that response. Paris, do you have anything different to add on, like if someone asked that to you?
When somebody asked me that question, I was kind of rebuttal and ask them something similar like this. I would say, well, do you think your husband would be okay with you making extra money so that you guys could have more date nights during the month? Because I know before Plexus, date nights were not a thing because we couldn't afford it. So any way for me to stay home with my kids, not interfere with his job being in the Marines, and make extra money, he was going to be all for.
Awesome. That's a great example too. For me personally, I didn't ask my spouse. I told him 4 days later after I had joined. He was deployed. We're all 3 of us are military spouses. He was deployed, and I just kind of went for it. I saved up. So I know what it's like to be super broke, and I babysat, house sat, and dog sat. Yes, I watched 2 dogs because I was desperate to look better and feel better. At the end of the day, I knew my husband needed his wife back after having our first baby. So it wasn't even about asking my spouse's permission. It was making it happen. So I didn't have to ask him about our personal finances. So 3 completely different perspectives for that one.
Yeah. And I mean,
Brett
was gone too, so I didn't ask Brett either. I actually used our emergency credit card to pay for my welcome pack. But you know what, you guys, I made all of my money back plus some in my first month. So by the time he got back from being in the field, I had already made an income. So it was like, okay, cool, sounds good.
It's true. Yeah. All right, Paris, go ahead. If y'all have a objection that you'd like to ask me, I'll take a punch right now.
All right, Emily. What do you say when somebody says that they don't need Plexus because they're already healthy and they don't use supplements?
Oh, that's a good one. So I have tons of fitness friends. I have lots of mommies that participate in mommy boot camps. They work out at the gym. I have a lot of friends that own CrossFit gyms, and that's my special guest, by the way. His name's Gentry. A lot of people kind of throw that at me, and they're like, I just don't understand why you keep selling Plexus. People don't need it. They just need to eat right. They just need to exercise. That's what I'm doing. But here's the thing. I know them personally. I know that they suffer from headaches. They suffer silently at night by themselves. They don't have the energy during or after their workouts. I don't know about y'all, but when it's new Plexus Edge, I go to my workout, and then after, I'm even more pumped up and energized. So when someone says that to me, my first thing is this. I said, unless you're growing or raising your own animals and vegetables, and it's nutrient-dense soil, and there's no GMOs, there's no pollution, you just have this perfect vegetable garden in your backyard, you're going to need to fill in the gaps in your diet and in your nutrition. There's just not enough out there, period. There's just not. That's where supplements come in handy. The definition of supplement or supplementing is filling in gaps to replace or replenish something. That is why I use Plexus. I don't use it to get an 8-pack. That's not why I'm using Plexus. I'm using it because there are days that I like a cupcake and I like a slice of pizza, and I need to fill in those gaps that I'm not getting if I don't consume enough vegetables, drink enough water. Our bodies don't produce things like chromium, omega-3s. There's some things that we need to put into our bodies that we don't produce. So that's what I say to people. I did not know this from the beginning. I'll be very honest. I had to do research. I had to figure out, okay, why do I need supplementation? And there's tons of positive articles out there that you can look up and look into. Not everything will say just eat right and exercise. No, actually, it's the turn of a new age. Everyone's recommending supplements. So that's kind of what I do at this point.
And I love what, hold on guys, I think there's a train going by. Okay. Okay, I love what you said at the end about how you had to do research too, because I know a lot of us are health gurus. A lot of people who start Plexus and are on our team, they started because they wanted to get healthy and they're brand new to the health and wellness world. And then they maybe reach out to that person who is, you know, a dream teamer because they're healthy and they're a fitness mama and they're a fitness junkie, and that's really intimidating. So I love what you added about being honest and saying, you know what, I had to do my own research and this is what I found. I learned that, you know, my body didn't make any of my essential fatty acids, your omegas, that's where omega X comes in, or I didn't know that I could be deficient in chromium and how that was going to help with my blood sugar. And then even sending that person some articles being like, look, I know you're a health and fitness person. Read this article. It's super interesting. And that way you're getting third-party validation from those articles, but you're not trying to act like an expert because people are going to know if you're not an expert and they're not going to take you seriously.
Absolutely. This is something that we've taught our teams is if you're not funny, don't try to be funny. If you're not a scientist, don't try to be a scientist. Your friends and family are going to see right through that. So it's important to be genuine and to say, look, I'm learning too. And this is what I've learned and I had to share this with you. So just do your research and encourage others to do their research too. All right, Jennifer, Brett, I got a question for you. So I got on your website. We've been talking for a while, and why does it cost so much? We're a military family. I'm a single mom. I just don't think that I can afford this.
Yeah. Okay. So trust me when I say that when I went to Emily's link for the first time to shop, Justin was still in the Marine Corps, and we were driving across the country with all 3 of our kids, living off our credit card at that point. We had no money, and they looked like they cost a fortune to me. But all that I knew was that I needed help with my anxiety. I was desperate. I had come to that point where I figured with a 60-day money-back guarantee, I guess I'll try it. I mean, is really the point that I got to. And thank God that I did, because not only did I try it, but I took advantage of the $34.95. And from day one, from that first month forward, I never had to pay for my own products again. Now, if you're not looking to go that route of working a business, I totally respect that too. I'm not telling you that that's what you have to do in order to be able to afford these. But on the flip side, I was looking down our bank statement and everything else that we were spending that money on that was working against me, that was going against my anxiety, against an unhealthy gut, against all these things. It was just outweighing it. I mean, I was spending more on those things. I was spending more on Starbucks and Diet Coke and drive-through runs, things that now that I'm on Plexus, I don't crave at all. So I just really encourage you to go through and be really honest with yourself when you're looking at your bank statement. What things are you spending your money on that are going against your health? Maybe it's, candy. Maybe it's your ice cream. Maybe it's your whatever your guilty pleasure is. Just be really honest with yourself. I encourage you to be really honest with yourself and add up how much you're spending on those things, and you'll actually see that for a high quality supplement. And if you were to compare them to other supplements that are not even as high quality as Plexus, these are actually really amazing price supplements for the well-being.
I kind of want to piggyback off that for a second. I talk about a lot, if you follow me on Facebook or if you've heard my story before, I talk about a lot. 2 years ago, going out to dinner was a luxury. There were nights that we shouldn't have even gone to Chipotle or Subway, and we did it anyways. We didn't have the money for it, but you do it anyway. So what are those things that you can't really afford, but you're still doing it? That money could be going towards your supplements. If you are desperate enough for that change or for this opportunity, really take Jennifer's advice. Print out that bank statement, highlight it with your husband, and be like, okay, it's eye-opening. It's going to change your perspective. I promise you that. I think all 3 of us have finally done that. We've been in this journey for about 2 years together, and we all finally did that. And we were like, oh, dang. Wow. We were spending money on things we definitely could have been using towards our Plexus products. So we encourage you to do that. Paris. I think you actually gave me this objection kind of just because you are a super crunchy nursing mom. You asked me this. You were like, I'm really, really okay with the business that I'm doing. If anyone was curious, Paris did candles and scents and all that before Plexus, and she had a great growing business. Well, it kind of came down to this. She was pregnant. She had another, or you weren't pregnant yet. You had a child and you're about to get pregnant. But you told me, I don't have time to work the business. I want the supplements. I don't have time to work the business. What ended up happening in that next couple of months after you took a look at the comp plan, and what happened there? Did you find time?
It's kind of ironic that I told you I didn't have time. So I'm going to give you guys a little backstory of how it worked with my other company. So when I was looking into Plexus, it was because I was really, really tired all the time. I was like the mommy, like zombie total 24/7. I lived off Starbucks. Brett was gone in the field, so it was just me and Finley. I was doing parties. So it was a party-based business, which means I was going to parties and events like multiple times a week to make an income. And then it was also, I was in school and it was finals week. So I was just done. And I remember messaging Emily and being like, all right, is this really going to give me energy? Because I need something. She was like, yes. I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to join for $34.95 because I need that discount because we're broke as a joke. And let me tell you guys, so I use our emergency credit card. And funny thing about that is we actually freeze our credit cards like in the freezer so we don't use them because we're really bad about using our credit cards. So I literally had to unfreeze my credit card to get the numbers off of it to order my welcome pack. So that is like how broke we were. So I did. I get the products in. And I remember telling Emily, I was like, you know what? Like, I'm already doing my other business and I'm doing great with it. I love it. I love when I'm selling. It's so much fun. In reality, I really kind of hated it, but I wasn't going to tell Emily that. And so then I decided to, she added me to the Facebook group, which you guys, if you're not adding wholesale ambassadors to to like our team groups, you are doing yourself a serious disservice, because Emily added me to that and I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. Oh, I'm learning like what exactly I'm using, because I didn't know what the heck I was doing. And Emily was like, well, post on Facebook. I'm like, okay, I guess. Like, I'm already on Facebook. And I, in my mind, was being kind of condescending and was thinking, I'm going to prove everyone that these products don't work. So I posted, was like, hey, this is what I'm using now. I'm using this pink drink. And my inbox blew up with people asking me about Plexus. And I was like, really? Like, you guys actually, like, want to try this? So within my first 2 weeks, I went silver. At that point, I had to choose between doing Plexus or my other company because of how MLMs work, and you can't really do 2 MLMs at the same time. You can't ride 2 horses at once. So what I found, though, was when I started posting about Plexus, everyone from my other company disowned me. I had people unfriend me. I had people block me. I had people report me to the company. And it was at that point I was like, well, I guess this isn't what I thought it was going to be. And everyone in Plexus was loving on me, and they were being just so genuinely happy for me in my new health journey. So I quit my company that I had been with for 2 years within my first month of joining Plexus. And I'm so, so glad I did, because going back to the question about not having enough time, I went from having to do at least 6 parties a week to make even half of what I'm making with Plexus, to literally sending someone to my website, messaging them on Facebook, or picking up the phone. I've never done a party or anything like that for Plexus. I've never had to. And I have so much more time. You guys, I missed Finley's first steps because I was doing a home-based party. And that's when I realized Plexus doesn't take a lot of time. I mean, we're now living on the road, and there's times that I don't have any signal and we're in a dead zone, and then 20 minutes later I'll have 20 minutes of like service, and I can work my business in 20 minutes and get a new customer. Like, time is not an issue with this business at all. I think what people are, when they say I don't have enough time, they're really saying I don't think I want to make Plexus the priority.
I agree. I'm gonna let Jen answer this one too, just because Jen is a mom of twin girls and a 4-year-old. Is she 4? 5, and a 5-year-old. There's another Plexus diamond with 11 children, and not that Jen has 11, but me 3 is like 11. That's I have 2. I can't imagine more. Yeah. So you tell me, when someone says I don't have time, does that kind of make you giggle? Like, tell me what you say to that.
You know what? I feel like it depends on who I'm talking to, because I do have friends who are a single mom who are serving pizzas or delivering pizzas or serving tables. For example, I have somebody on my team who is a single mom, not only just a single mom of twin 2-year-olds, just like me. She serves tables 4 days a week, and she is a grad student. You want to talk about not having time. And she's one of my main producing, she's one of my top ambassadors on my team. And so I use her as an example a lot, honestly, because it depends. If I'm talking to a stay-at-home mom who has a couple of kids, or maybe they have 4 kids, maybe they have 5 kids, I can very much relate and use my own story. Like, believe me, I get it. I utilize nap time. I utilize bedtime. I utilize when they're playing happily, those moments where they're off and you're like, oh, look at that. The dishwasher's running and my kids are playing happy. That's when I take on and, I jump on, I take advantage of those moments and I really hustle it. But there's some people who aren't just stay-at-home moms and they have more going on than just their kids at home. And for them, I use my friend Sarah as an example. It's all about just squeezing it into the nooks and crannies. I have, ambassadors of every variety of time excuses on my team that I could refer to. And even if they're not on my own team, if you don't have people on your own team with those, use your sidelines as examples, just all these diamond documentaries, all of these stories, everybody that just use them as examples and really draws inspiration, and realize that everybody has the time if they squeeze it into those nooks and crannies. Like I have told people, I don't care if you're using 5 minutes of sitting in the bathroom. If you're sitting on the toilet and sending out messages to potentials to follow up, then bam, look at you. You just squeezed it into the nooks and crannies. If you have time to scroll Facebook just for funsies, then you can squeeze it into a nook and cranny. If you have time to watch The Bachelorette, everybody on my Facebook knows how much I love The Bachelor and Bachelorette. But I'm working my business on every commercial break, you guys, on every commercial break. So just squeeze it in where you don't think you have the time. If you're being honest with yourself, you really do. And you could break it into 3 15-minute increments a day and you will find the time.
Absolutely. And let me just end it, the time objection with this. If you have time to ask someone how they're doing, you have time to say, hey, have you ever heard of Plexus? It's as simple as that. We have working mamas, we have stay-at-home moms, we have women that are, doing multiple businesses, and they're still finding the time to share about it. Some of my friends post on Facebook like 20 times a day. One of those statuses could be a Plexus status and could generate interest. So like Paris said, if it's not a priority, you're not going to make time for it. If you're not desperate enough for that change in your life, for your health, you're not going to make time for it. Mm-hmm. So think about that next time someone says, I don't have the time.
Or look at your husband. Your husband's a full-time Marine, and he's Ruby, almost senior Ruby with Plexus. I don't know if you guys know, if not everyone's military, but for all the military spouses on here, you guys know their crazy hours. They're working 10, 20 hours a day. Like, if Scott can be a Ruby ambassador, then there's not really much excuse with the full-time thing. Because of his job in the Marine Corps, he cannot have his phone at work.
So literally every night, it's funny because we have like this little ritual, because I'm here in Texas and he's there in Virginia. Every night from like 9 to 10 p.m., that's just 10 to 11 p.m. for him, we sit there and he'll send me screenshots of how many people he's reached out to, like buddies that run corporations, Marines that are getting out of the military, old mutual friends from high school, some of our mutual friends that we've met since we've been married. And he's like, look, I'm doing this. And I'm like, I'm so proud of you. And not even this, for someone that doesn't have time, he was on the top enrollers list like 2 or 3 weeks ago out of the whole entire company. So yes, that's a great example. I don't even know why I didn't think of that, Paris. To ask a full-time Marine or a full-time student, how do you do this Plexus thing if you don't have time? Their answer will surprise you. All right, Jen.
Wait, I want to ask you one.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Okay. What do you say to people when they're like, yeah, that's cool, Emily, I've seen the results, but I also know that you hit the gym all the time. So let's be honest, how much do you really have to work out to see results with this thing? Because I don't have time to be in the gym 7 days a week.
Okay. That's a fair enough question. So here's the thing. I'm a very bold person, so my answer and response is going to be probably a little different than like your average Facebook friend. So I'll give you 2 responses. I'll give you my personal response, and then I'll give you something that you could say on a general basis. Sterling, get off your brother. Thank you. It's not funny. When someone messages me that, I immediately want to reply with this. I just had a baby. I take an hour a day to invest back into myself so I can invest back into my kids. If I don't work out 4 times a week, it's not that I feel like a failure. It's not that I fear my products aren't going to work because I'm not working out. It's because I know my body type needs physical activity with supplementation. Like I mentioned a second ago, there's days that I like a good cupcake and there's days I like a slice of pizza. So that alone, I can't leave my supplements to do all the work. So I honestly think this. If you're fat, you got to do some physical activity, all right? End of the day, that's what I would say to somebody. However, That's not the nicest way to reply to people. That's just my personality. So if you're talking to someone and they're like, I don't have time to work out, or I don't like working out, you can say, look, our products have an 85% success rate, if not higher these days. 42% of our business comes from customers. And Sterling, get off your brother. Thank you. And boy, mom. And if you feel like you can't do Plexus because you can't commit to the gym at least once a week, Plexus isn't going to work for you, period. It's not. It sounds to me you're looking for a quick fix, and that's not what Plexus is. Am I saying you have to work out? Absolutely not. You could completely change your diet and use supplementation and see results. I know people that didn't work out at all and have seen results. But at the end of the day, it's going to be on how your body processes sugar, how your body processes fat and stores fat, how you digest carbohydrates. Everything is going to be different for you. So results vary. That's why Plexus has a disclaimer, because it works differently for all of us. So no, you don't have to slave away in the gym, but the quicker results that you want, the more physical activity you should invest in. That's my honest opinion. If either one of you would like to piggyback on that or maybe share what you say, I'd love to hear it.
I love that. I'm first and foremost, that's what I always do. Like, look, this isn't a quick fix. You're not replacing your meals with liquid. You're not going to be starving yourself. So you do have to realize that, you know, calorie intake and calorie out, that's exercising and what you're eating. You need to use Plexus as a tool because it's going to help with your cravings and it's going to help with, you know, with your appetite. And so you need to take advantage of that and watch what you're putting in your mouth. And as far as working out goes, you're going to have extra energy from the products. So you need to utilize that extra energy, you know, and create a healthier lifestyle for yourself. And then the other thing I like to tell people too, I actually just got this question from one of my, she's my newest customer. And I told her, look, if your extra stubborn weight, because she has like 10 pounds to lose, if your extra stubborn weight is holding on and you're already active, if you're already an active person, she was telling me how she already goes on long walks and all these things. And I said, if your extra stubborn weight is stemming from unbalanced blood sugar levels and or an unhealthy gut, you probably will lose this. If you keep up your activity that you're already doing, you probably will lose the 10 pounds without having to throw in any extra exercising. But if that extra fat isn't coming from those two key, because she was starting the triplex combo, I'm like, if it's not starting from those two key issues, gut health or blood sugar regulation, then you're not going, you know, then you will have to step up. Then that's how you know it's everything that Emily said, you know, everything you're taking in and calories and you're exercising. So
for instance, I know lots of people that look really, really good on the outside, but they suffer majorly because of things going on the inside. So gym life isn't all that it's cracked up to be. That's where supplementation comes in handy and obviously changing your eating habits. Sugar is dangerous. I consider it a drug in my household because it is addicting and it is so hard to fight those cravings unless you have proper gut health control. So great responses. Paris, I have one for you real quick. I am a nursing mom. I watch everything I eat. We don't consume dairy. I'm not a vegetarian, but I'm pretty close. Do I need to talk to my doctor before starting the supplementation? All of these disclaimers are worrying me.
So I recommend that everyone talks to their doctor or does their own research before starting any supplementation. However, I'm also a nursing mom. Like I said before, I used Plexus my entire pregnancy, and I've never had any issues. Our products are natural. There's not a bunch of chemicals or synthetic ingredients. Plexus Slim, it's pink because of beetroot extract, you guys. It's not some weird red dye 40. So it's not going to hurt you. It's not going to hurt your baby. Like I said, I used Plexus my entire pregnancy. And then I actually, if you go on my Facebook, I have a selfie with the pink drink still in the hospital. So it's totally safe. If you want to ask your doctor if that makes you feel better, by all means do so. I can also add you to a Plexus and breastfeeding Facebook group. There's over 20,000 nursing moms in that group who are all using Plexus or thinking about using Plexus, and it's run by an RN and an IBLC. So that's kind of fun.
No, you nailed it. That's perfect. Disclaimers are there for your safety and because supplements are not regulated by the FDA. The FDA has a job to do. That doesn't necessarily mean the things that they approve are wonderful for you or not great for you, but that's their job, and Plexus provides disclaimers for your protection as an independent ambassador, but also for consumers' protection so they know what they're putting into their bodies. So yes, as Paris suggested, always ask your physician or your local pharmacist, someone that you trust with your health and your dietary needs.
I want to add to that too, because obviously I just gave my personal testimony. Not everyone has kids, not everyone nurses. So with that, if you get a question like that, I know if somebody had told me that Plexus was, like, if Emily had never nursed and she came to me and told me that Plexus was totally safe, I would have been really, really hesitant because I am that paranoid mama. And so if you don't have kids and you can't relate on a personal level, send them some third-party validation. Use somebody who nurses, use their testimony, or add them to the Plexus and Breastfeeding Testimony page, because that way they're getting third-party validation from people that they're going to trust, because they have that connection. They're on the same level with them. Just coming from like that type of perspective, I know if somebody told me Plexus was safe while I was nursing and it wasn't from somebody who had also nursed, I would have been like, yeah, I don't believe you. So just want to like throw that disclaimer out there.
Right. And also, you know, with people on different medications, it's always, you know, you can always go to your local pharmacist. I always recommend research individual ingredients and the way that they react with your medications. Knowledge is power. You know, a lot of doctors don't understand supplementation. So it's really important to get other sources as well.
Yeah, see a neuropath or chiropractor. They're going to give you really honest feedback about the products as well, because they're in the holistic realm of, you know, health practice.
Yeah, no one ever got hurt by getting a second opinion, ever.
No. Emily, I have a question for you. I don't like water. So Plexus, I don't like drinking water. I won't drink water all day long. It's just, I work too much. I'm too busy. Are these even going to work for me?
That's a good question. I actually got this one a couple of days ago from someone. Here's the thing, fun fact. Your body is made up of over 70 to 80% of water, okay? Your body needs it, desperately needs it. You have to replenish. We sneeze, we go to the restroom, we cry, we sweat. We are constantly leaking fluid. That sounds gross, but it's true. So it's so important that we replenish with water. If you can't designate a time to get your water in, there's plenty of ideas out there. Marking on a water jug, water bottles that are already marked for you, drink every 15 minutes. If you can't find the time to sneak water into your regimen, you're not going to have the time to fit Plexus into your regimen. I did not like water. I will be the first to admit I drank 6 to 7 diet sodas a day. I had a case of it in the trunk of my car. I took them to work and would replenish at work with diet soda. Every time we went out to eat with friends, I got a diet soda. I would get diet soda with my alcohol. Like, I had a problem, okay? So when people tell me I don't like water, I know all about that life. But here's the thing. When I started Plexus Slim, this is what I found. I found that my blood sugar stayed regulated, and anything with sugar in it, I didn't necessarily crave or want. So about 7 days into it, I noticed I didn't reach for one diet soda. I didn't even think about it. Not magical, just means it works. It's weird, right? So when people tell me that they don't like water, will it work for them? No, I think that's the number one key to success with Plexus is your water intake. So not that, I mean, you might be really lucky, it will work for you, but I think that it's not gonna work for you until you let water work for you and work into your daily habits. So that's my 2 cents. Y'all can feel free to piggyback on that if y'all have something else to add.
Go ahead, Jen.
Oh, I was just going to say, I mean, especially for those starting, for example, on the triplex combo, I always explain to them, look, you can't detox your gut and be releasing all these toxins into your body and expect to get good results when you're not going to be flushing them out with water. It's a key component to success with the products. I mean, I'm just very upfront about that. You have to flush your body with water. That's all I was really going to add. Go ahead, Chris.
So I like to kind of help give suggestions of how they can utilize and use more water and make it taste better and all these things. So one is I always tell them, do not use those, like, I don't know what they're called, like the things you squeeze in your water and it makes them like flavored and it turns them funky colors.
Mayo.
Don't use those. When people are like, oh, can I add those? I'm like, no, please don't. Those are so bad for you. They're full of sucralose and they're full of fake dyes and all kinds of funky things in them. Don't use them. If you have to have your water taste like something, get one of those infuser bottles where you can put like strawberries and lemon or cucumbers or whatever and make your water taste flavored with natural ingredients, with fruit and things like that. Or just simply squeeze some water in, or squeeze some lemon into your water to make it taste better. One thing that I learned years ago from this book that I read by a dietitian was to start your morning with a warm cup of water with lemon. And you guys, it tastes really good. It kind of tastes like a lemon tea. And that is a really easy way to get in water and have it taste good. Personally, I love water. I've always been a really big water drinker. I've never been a soda drinker. For me, it was coffee. But you, like I said, use an infuser bottle. Make your water taste good naturally, but don't use those weird little dropper things because that's just bad. Don't use Crystal Light packets. Like, don't go there because you're going to sabotage your results with Plexus.
If you are a soda person watching this, or you have someone that drinks a lot of soda and you immediately are thinking of them, there's something out there called LaCroix, and it is carbonated sparkling water, whatever you call it, and it's flavored. So if you are trying to kick that habit, obviously I would love for everyone to dive into some ice water, but if you're trying to kick that habit and you need that carbonation, you need that fizzy, bubbly stuff touching your nose, trust me, it's a thing. It's weird. I don't know what it is. Get your hands on that. I know for sure Target sells it and like Walgreens and CVS, but get your hands on sparkling water that's flavored. You could even mix your Plexus Slim packets into it for taste and to get that carbonation feeling. There's a Emerald Ambassador with Plexus, Rachel Rogers. She is a fit chick. Super, super amazing testimony. And she talks about even using this just to get her carbonation fix. So if you don't like water and you're slowly making that adjustment, that's another alternative that you can use.
Love that. Alrighty. So I think we're wrapping up with our last point at this. Emily, do you want to answer it? Any takers or?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can take it.
All right. So our last objection that we want to cover that I know that we all get a lot. If you're watching this, I'm sure you've gotten it. If you reached out to anybody, I've gotten it a million times, is, yeah, Jen, I would really love to do what you did because it looks really cool and everything. I mean, you're helping a lot of people. I would love to help a lot of people, but I'm just not a salesperson. Like, I'm just not a salesperson. So it's just not for me.
All right. I love this objection. Probably my favorite one. Only because this reason alone. We are all network marketers, and we have been since we were probably, 8 years old, and we could decide that we really liked something. Here's the thing. We recommend things to our friends and family every single day subconsciously. We don't even know we're doing it. For instance, let's go back to your high school days. You got a new backpack, JanSport. Everybody knows what a JanSport backpack is. Those are the cool backpacks, right? Not Kohl's backpack, not Walmart. It had to be JanSport. Because one cool kid at your school had JanSport backpack, you went home, you're like, Mom, I need a JanSport backpack. It's solid color, no patterns, no, right? Solid color. I have to have one, so-and-so has it. And your mom's like, okay, honey, hold on. Like, we'll go get you a JanSport backpack. Let's fast forward to college. A friend of yours is drinking this new IPA beer, and you're just like, I don't really like beer, but they're drinking it and they think it's cool, so I'm gonna give it a try. Oh wow, it ends up being your favorite beer. Fast forward to married life. Hey, I saw y'all get your pictures taken by that one photographer. Can you tell me what her name is? Can you send me her info, because those pictures were amazing. I want that photographer for my wedding. Fast forward even more, you have kids. Hey, can someone recommend a good doctor for me, or a great brand of diapers, or for people that don't nurse their babies? Can you recommend the best formula for my baby? We ask questions, and people are quick to give recommendations all the time, 24/7. But here's the difference. You're not selling anything. You're recommending it because you love it. That's how I feel about my Plexus business. If someone is looking for a supplement or a lifestyle change and I love something, I'm passionate about it, even before Plexus, I was recommending protein bars. I was recommending, believe it or not, at one point in my life, energy drinks. Yikes. But that's what I was doing because people trusted me and they came to me for that information. Plexus is paying me, yes, because we all need to make income. Don't roll your eyes. I have to put diapers on his butt because I'm not just going to sit here and hold my hand on his butt all day. We need income. So that's where this Plexus thing happens. I'm not a salesperson. I'm just recommending what I love for people that post about it and complain about it all the time. Just like you go to Target and you shop around in the dollar section and you find all those cute little knickknacks for your house, I'm shopping around on my Plexus website because you can't sleep at night and I'm going to talk to you about this probiotic. I'm going to talk to you about this energy supplement. Same concept. Yes, I was a waitress growing up. I probably could have upsold, you know, would you like ranch with those fries? Like I could have upsold stuff like that. That's probably the only selling I've ever done in my entire life. I'm not a salesperson. All right. I'm genuine and I care about people. And that's why I'm successful with Plexus. That's why Jennifer and Paris are successful with Plexus. Not because we're good at selling something. No, it's because we take the time to educate ourselves, educate our team, and then share the love back with our friends and family. So no, you do not have to be a salesperson. So when someone tells me that, I automatically respond with this. Well, didn't you just recommend that restaurant down the street from your house on your Facebook? If you can recommend a restaurant, you can recommend a Plexus product. Simple as that. And most of the time, that person's like, huh, you're right. And so if I just recommend these products, I can get paid if people order. Yep. So pretty self-explanatory. I mean, Jen, are you a salesperson?
No, not at all.
Paris, are you a salesperson?
Definitely not.
Y'all ever sold a car before?
No.
I don't know, y'all, but living on base and having garage sales was like pulling teeth. I'm like, 3 for the price of 1. Who wants these old socks? Like, come on, we're not salespeople. Who wants this old baby jumper bounce? No, we're not salespeople. We're moms, and we want to make a difference, and we want to help you guys overcome these objections because we get them all the time. Sometimes they make you laugh. Sometimes they make you roll your eyes. Sometimes they frustrate you, and you're just like, how do you reply to this? So we hope that this video gave you some ideas, some takeaways, and we know that you're going to use these ideas and implement them in your business today when you get that objection. So thanks for joining us. Stay tuned. Maybe we'll come out with some more of these. We appreciate that you watched this, and have a great rest of your day.